I'm Greg, the Masked Gaymer, and welcome to today's playthrough video. What this channel is all about is it's a safe place for people who are COVID cautious to come and talk about board games. If you're not COVID cautious, you're welcome to be here as well. If you want more information about the channel, you can check out my intro to channel video. Today I'll be playing games by myself, so I don't need to wear a mask, but when I have friends over, that's what we do, even though they don't wear them anywhere else. Okay, so today we are going to unbox and play Cthulhu Death May Die. Now you may want to pronounce it Cthulhu, Cthulhu. I say Cthulhu. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. Someday H.P. Lovecraft will tell us all, but nobody cares what he thinks. Anyway, I also recently discovered this Dized, D-I-Z-E-D app that supposedly has great tutorials to teach you how to play games without reading a rule book. So I'm going to be trying that out today, along with filming during the day, where you're going to see this is not a good idea for me because there's a nice little halo there. And this is going to be the first time I'm trying to do a playthrough for the channel. I impulse bought this game last night. I love me some horror stuff. It arrived. I haven't read the instructions or taken anything out of the box yet. We're gonna fly with it along with this video. And yeah, so here we go. Maybe you'll hear the video. Maybe you won't hear the video. Apparently there might be ads in the video, so we're giving some extra free advertising to people, which is great, because that's what I do for my day job. It says, Cthulhu Death May Die. Tap the button to start the tutorial.
Die. Tap the button to start the tutorial.
Tap the button to start the tutorial.
The cultists are performing their foolish rituals again. They're about to summon an elder god, which will lead to the destruction of our world.
So the cultists are going to perform a ritual to summon an elder god.
You are going to disrupt their little ritual. All you need to do is to mess it up, just a little bit, in order to save us all.
Cool. Oh, I just realized you can't see the
With
screen.
Success,
So sad.
The Elder One will be
So
mortal
sad,
when it
so
lands
sad,
in
so
our
sad.
world.
So we're going to
Just
kill an
for a
Elder
while,
One.
but enough for you to kill it. It won't be easy. You will have to work together, and you might lose your sanity. But you need to try. Cthulhu Death May Die is a cooperative strategy game for 1 to 5 players.
I didn't realize this was going to be such a long intro.
You play as
Sorry.
investigators, and your job is to disrupt the cultist's ritual, summon an Elder One into our world at its most vulnerable, and defeat it once and for all.
Okie dokie.
Let's start by setting up the game.
Cool.
Open the box and take the storyboard, investigator boards, and all the punch boards out. You can leave the rulebook to the side. It won't be needed with the Dized tutorial.
Alright, so it looks like this is the investigator boards. This is the rule book, which I'll be leaving aside. This is what I think is the storyboard. So we're going to put that there. Where can you see it? Where can you see it? Where can you see it? We'll put it over here for now. We're going to take all the punch boards out. Oh, look, you get to watch me try to chew through plastic. How fun! I was really prepared for this today, as you can tell. As in not prepared at all. But, you know, there's only one way to open a punch board, and that's with your teeth. I know, I'm a travesty of a board game person. Never give me a collector's item. Don't buy anything from me unless I say it's still sealed. You might get teeth marks in your punch board. Alright, so we've got the punch board, investigator boards, and the storyboard. So now apparently I click next on this little app.
Pop all tokens and tiles out and leave them to the side, for now, along with the investigator boards.
It wants me to pop everything out and leave it to the side. Now this is not usually what I like to personally do. I usually like to punch things out as I need them, but I committed to I'm gonna do whatever this tutorial tells me. And so you're gonna get to watch me punch out little pieces of cardboard today. These look like cute little health trackers. These look like, I'm assuming, fire. They're little orange things. You can't really see them from there, I'm realizing. These are some whirly-magigs, we'll call it. These are purple squarey thingies, we'll call it. And those other things look like some map tiles. All right, so sheet 2. Got some more map tiles. Map tile, map tile, map tile. Oh look, it looks just like Betrayal at House on the Hill. A big circle thingy. These look like some traits. We have swiftness, stealth, and marksman. So I guess maybe we're gonna get to level some stuff up at some point during this game. We've got some more map tiles. Very, very, very Betrayal House on the Hill vibes for me here from the house art. But I mean, that's kind of a silly game, and I hope this isn't a silly game because I want me some horror. We got some more what look like skill tiles. We have, I guess it's like a starting player icon, so I probably won't need that because I'm just me. We have some single health tiles. Apparently those other ones that we had before were triple health tiles. So boom, 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 boom. I have some friends who really like things to be organized on the table. I'm not really one of those, so they would be going wild right now. More map tiles, map tiles, map tiles, map tiles, and 2 little greeny poopy tiles. So that actually wasn't so much cardboard. I expected some more, but we'll see what happens. All right, pressing next.
Typically, you can choose an Elder one, but for this tutorial, you will play against Cthulhu for your first game.
Seems like
Take the
Cthulhu's calling it high.
storyboard and set it to the table.
So this is the storyboard. I found this Cthulhu box, which I'm assuming is what we need, which seems to have some extra little contents in it.
Take the Elder 1 figure from the Cthulhu box and place it on the starting space of the summoning track.
Okay. So we've got a little tray of toys in here. That's fun. Ow, 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 I can't get it out. I can't get it out. I can't get it out. Oh, there we go. Okay. Is there tape on here? Yes. Me and my lack of nails have failed the initial tape test. This kind of reminds me of the Wanderer boxes from this Dawn of Madness game I got last week. So Dawn of Madness is also a cooperative horror-themed game that a playthrough took me 8 hours to do, and there's no save system. And I really dig it, but I can't do that in one sitting, so I have to leave it up for a few days. So that's kind of where I ended up looking for this game, because I wanted something I could play in one session. All right, here's Cthulhu. We're gonna put Cthulhu on the starting spot on that board, which you can now kind of see, okay? Clicking next.
Take the Minions reference card from the Cthulhu box and place it on the storyboard on the corresponding space.
I don't know what this says Minions of Cthulhu. Oh good, more things that I should have opened beforehand, because this could take me an entire hour in and of itself. Now, the odd part here is, like, my actual favorite thing about board games is first opening the box and seeing everything that's in it. And my standard joy in that process has been usurped, because I'm trying to describe said process. So maybe unboxing videos are not going to be my thing, because they ruin my happy place, but we'll see. God damn it. You know, I really wish when people put plastic on stuff, they put it in a way that you could open it more easily. I really don't know how y'all do it. Alright, this is just simply embarrassing. I don't have any kind of thing to help me open this more easily. This might take a while. You know, maybe it's good that I know some people who know how to do video editing, and this will be something we edit out, because nobody wants to see me chewing on plastic. I kind of have a little bit of give here. Nope. Can't get it. Oh no. Oh no, my stress level is rising. The secret is This game is actually meant to drive you insane, and the way they do that is with this very, very, very thin pile of cards. Aha! Ha 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 ha! Yay! All right, Minions of Cthulhu. It wants me to put it face up on this board. Oh, you're gonna be watching this all upside down because I put the camera over there. Well, it is what it is. Okay, so we've put the Minions of Cthulhu box in the corresponding space.
Take the punch board from the box and pop all the tokens out.
Oh,
Take the 9 Malaya tokens and set them near the storyboard.
This seems to want me to put these on the right side of the storyboard, but due to how I've oriented my life, I'm gonna put these on the left side of the storyboard. Okay.
Open the Mythos deck, but leave it to the side for now, along with the star spawn.
This is the Star Spawn. It's another big miniature that I wish I knew somebody who painted, because I can't paint to save my soul. And I have figured out how to open their plastic bags with some friction, so that's cool. So this Mythos pile is going to also go over there. Press next.
Place the Elder 1 stage cards in order, face up, on the storyboard on the corresponding space. Stage 1 goes on top.
Alright, so we've got 4 Elder 1 stage cards. Stage 1's going to go on top, and we're putting that on the board. Alright.
Now, typically, you would also choose an episode to combine with the Elder 1, but for this tutorial, you will play episode 1.
We will play episode 1.
Take out all the components from episode 1 box. Pop out the tokens and leave them to the side for now. They will be used during setup and during the game.
Instead of take out all the components from the episode 1 box, it says take out all the components from episode 1 box. So it's clearly some translation stuff. Season 1, episode 1, Blasphemous Alchemy. What's worse than cultists? Cultists who have set the place on fire! Another night and another damn ritual to summon the Elder God. If we blow up their labs, we can cause a lot of trouble for whatever it is they're summoning. So it says that in this box there's more fire tokens! And there's some lab tokens. So I was right, those were fire tokens in the original box. There's these things called discovery cards. There's some more Mythos cards. There's a monsters card and an episode card. We are being told to pop out the tokens and leave them to the side for now. So we're gonna pop out these tokens. I think that's kind of fun that you find new tokens in each of these little episode containers. So there's 6 of those in this box, and I know that there's a season 2 that I've seen online. I think I've heard there's a season 3 and season 4 that are coming, if not out yet, as well as some other modular expansions, because of course, Cool Mini or not, wants you to spend all the monies. Okay, next.
Take the monsters reference card from episode 1 and place it on the storyboard.
So we get, I guess, two minions for the Elder thing, and then 2 monsters for the mission. Here we have a fire vampire and a Byakhee.
Take out all the figures for the enemies shown on the reference cards and set them on the table. Other monsters won't be used. You can leave them to the box.
Leave them to the box. Okay, so I need to find miniatures now. So we're gonna get those. Do not look like the miniatures I need in this one. If I ever do this again, I'm gonna unpack the box first, because nobody wants to watch me doing this. I wrote a song. You can see why I play board games and I don't write songs. Aha! We have found 2 fire vampires? Sure, okay. That's not really what I picture when I think of a fire vampire, but more power to you. Okay, and then there's some more miniatures in here. I think this is going to be the last stuff that I need from this box, too. These look like investigator cards on top. So as usual, with a Cool Mini or Not game, they give you this giant box that is mostly some miniatures. which is why we like it, because they're cool minis. Or not. The rest of the things tend to be, oh no, there's more stuff in there than I realized. Oh, I'm bad to my toys, I'm being bad to my toys. Okay. No! All of my investigators came out of their little containers. I'll fix it all later. I'll be good, I swear. So we're gonna need these 10 cultists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I wonder if there's a reason the cultists are red and the monsters are gray. I don't know if there is, but we're gonna set these guys aside. Oh, they have numbers on the bottom. That's nice. Then we have the Byakhee, which are, in this game, kind of skeleton-y little... These are different than the Byakhee I'm used to. They've got much more facial features. I'm gonna set those aside. I'm just assuming we're gonna need these tokens, so I'm gonna take these out. Oh, I see, there's 2 different sizes of cultists. Okay, so we're gonna put these back in the box. Oops. I dropped something else the other day and its head fell off, but this little girl's head did not fall off. She's got an axe, I'll probably use her. Okay, set the other ones on the table.
Now you will set up the map board,
Great.
according to the instructions on the back of the episode 1 card. Each map tile is double-sided and labeled with a code to help with setup. Find the tiles that are referenced in the reference card.
Okay. So, I'm gonna go from the left to the right. I'm gonna need 10A. This might take a while. Oh, I found 5A, which is somewhere else down here, so I'm gonna hold on to 5A. I don't think I need these. So over there. Over here we have 7A is needed. We have 8A is needed. We have 4A is needed. I do like the art on these tiles. It's quite evocative. 11B, that goes down here. Can you see this map? Not really. We have this here, we have this here. I know you don't really need to see all this stuff, but I'm trying my best here. Okay, we did that, and then we're gonna have 15A goes over there. 1A. 1A looks like an entrance space. I think it's supposed to be facing a different way than it's facing. So I'm gonna put that like that. I'm gonna take, this is 3A. This goes here. Alright, so that's part of that map. We've got some kind of conservatory. We've got 6A, which goes on the bottom here. That doesn't look right. Goes on the bottom here. We've got 9A, which goes smack dab in here. And then we have 10A, which I did bad spacing. And 10A is gonna go here. Does that look right? Nope. Yep. 10A, we got all this stuff, and hopefully I will still have room for whatever I need to do for investigator setup with all this. But here we have tiles referenced in the card.
Start arranging the map tiles to match the layout shown here, and also depicted on the reference card, by placing tiles 10A and 8A.
Yeah, I did that.
Then place tiles 7A, 9A, and 6A as shown.
I did everything in the wrong order. They wanted me to do this one at a time.
Then place 4A and 1A.
So they go really specific.
And finally place 3A, 5A, and 11B. Return the unused map tiles to the box. They won't be used for this game.
5.
Find the starting space token and place it on the corresponding map tile. This is where all investigator figures will start.
I guess that's the starting space tile and not the investigator. investigator first player marker.
Take 6 cultist figures and place them on the corresponding spaces, shown on the reference card.
The cultist. We're cultists. We're cultists. They're standing on furniture now. We're going to raise dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
Also place a Bayaki figure and a fire vampire figure on the corresponding spaces.
I am a fire vampire in a circle of doom. I am a Bayaki in the library-ish looking thing. Okay.
Take the 3 gate tokens and place them on the map.
Those are the tokens
From
I
these
called
gates,
whirly gigs.
enemies are summoned.
Called those whirly gigs before. I'm going to summon from a gate. I'm going to summon from a gate. Why would they summon in the hallway? That's okay.
Place the 2 stair tokens. These will help the investigators move quickly between map tiles, but beware, also monsters can move through the stairs.
So, I just want to comment here that there's this funky-ass spiral staircase thing, and it has a staircase in it, but it has 2 entrances on this tile, and I don't know where this other staircase in the staircase goes or comes from, but sure, why not?
Find the 5 lab tokens from the episode 1 box and place them randomly on the corresponding map tiles, face down. You will try to destroy them during the course of the game.
This is another great language thing. Place them on the corresponding map tiles. Not corresponding, but corresponding. I do love... I feel like I'm doing... I've started to realize this might be some kind of AI-generated tutorial thing. And I kind of feel bad, but also it doesn't cost any money for me, so why not? Alright.
Finally, place the 6 fire tokens depicted on the reference card.
Fire. 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 Is there a fire token in the room with the fire vampire? Nope, but the stairs are on fire.
Turn over the episode 1 card and place it on the storyboard.
There's some story on here. We read the What's Worse Than Cultist story already, so I'm just gonna toss that Blasphemous Alchemy thing over there.
Take the 8 Mythos cards from the Elder 1 box and the 8 Mythos cards from episode 1 box. Shuffle the 16 Mythos cards together and place them, face down, near the storyboard.
Okay, so it's a little plug and play thing there. That's cute. First I have to open this. Most of the setup time of this game is actually trying to open plastic, as we have seen multiple times now. There's so many little tiny things of cards in plastic that could have just been one. You know, as much as I like the little, find the hidden things in the box, I would have been okay with just opening one bag of things and then organizing it, because organizing is also my happy space. I'm going to do that thing that people always say, that's not shuffling, but to me it is. So, yes, I'm still going to do a real shuffle after this. I'm just doing this to try to make sure that I start with a place where everything is mixed up, so that during the game I hopefully don't draw all 8 Cthulhu cards one after another, instead of some, alternation of things. Nope, I do not sleeve my stuff, so again, if you ever buy anything from me used, heads up, I don't sleeve, and I shuffle like this, and people get mad at me for it, but that's okay, because I can do what I want, because it's my money and my game. Wow, it seems like musical theater is going to end up being a heavy-duty thing on my world. Okay, put that Mythos deck over there.
Some Mythos cards summon the star spawn, so place the figure close to the Mythos deck as a reminder.
I mean, I would assume they all summon all the things, but sure.
Shuffle the episode Discovery deck from episode 1 box and place it, face down, near the storyboard.
So I'm going to shuffle this discovery deck now, which is a little bit harder to shuffle the way I like to shuffle. But we're gonna do it. Why would they do... Okay. I'm just curious as to why they have this little storyboard thing, right? But they didn't make it just a little bit bigger to have a spot on it for the Mythos deck and this discovery deck. But, you know, maybe we'll see. Maybe there is a reason. Oh, Cthulhu's gonna kill us, I can tell already. He's very big and scary looking. Okay,
If you're playing solo, tap on the button.
that's cute.
Otherwise, have each player select an investigator board and figure. Each investigator has different skills, but you will learn more about skills later.
Solo!
In a single-player game, you control 2 investigators, alternating turns with them. Every character will be referred as a different player. Select 2 investigator boards and figures.
There's actually quite a few investigators in here. So we have Adam, Rasputin, Elizabeth, Fatima, Ahmed, Borden, who's the girl with the axe, as I'm definitely taking her because her name's Borden, Ian, the kid, Morgan, and Sister Beth. We're gonna go with Rasputin and Borden. So Borden's this little girl with an axe. 2 things are certain in life: death and axes. And Rasputin says sigh, dead again. This death and axes thing is right up my jam. Okay, so we're taking Borden and Rasputin.
Attach a colored base of your choice on the figures to help you remember which figure corresponds to each investigator. Place the figures on the starting space.
So Lizzie Borden, I'm sorry, just Borden. Borden is going to be green, because green is my favorite color, so I'll always use green. And Rasputin's going to be red, because he has little fire coming out of his hands. And they get put on this starting... and they get put on this starting space.
Take the tentacle markers that match the investigator's color from the miniatures tray and place 3 of them on the first level of the investigator's skills.
I remembered the markers. Okay, so Borden is going to be is savage, swiftness, and stealth. And Rasputin is unkillable. Sounds good. Arcane mastery and brawling. Sure, Rasputin. So I think everything that's not green and red is just going to be able to go back in this bag and be set aside. So I'm just going to
And another 3 in the leftmost space of the wound. Stress and sanity tracks.
Wounds, stress, sanity. I feel like sanity is the top, but she said wounds, stress, and sanity. So alright.
Shuffle the insanity cards that you can find in the miniature tray and deal 1 to each investigator, putting away the rest. Players place their card, face up, near their investigator boards.
So we all start insane. I told you this game was going to drive me crazy. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Oh, come on. Open. This worked for the other ones, this method of just kind of using the friction of the cards and the plastic to do its own thing. But it doesn't seem to be working as well with this one. Again, next time I shall open everything first. So, fun story. I'm agoraphobic. I didn't used to be agoraphobic. I'm agoraphobic now, which is one of the reasons that I've dove so heavy into board games, because it's really hard for me to do anything else. So if agoraphobia is one of these cards, I'm going to have a moment, and I'm going to feel like the card knows me. We have Borden is short-term memory loss. If you are at full stress, heal all of your stress and discard 1 discovery card of your choice. If you're not at full stress, take 1 stress. And then Rasputin is Paranoia. All the monsters on the board move one space towards you, and if there are no enemies in your space, you heal all your stress. So I guess insanity can be good and bad.
Keep the progression token, wound tokens,
Progression token.
fire tokens, skill tokens, and dice near the storyboard as a reserve. You can return the rest of the components to the box.
But I'm not going to because I just want to get on with things. Okay, we've got 7 dice in this game.
Randomly determine a starting player. That player takes the Mythos deck and will take the first turn.
You know how I'm going to determine randomly? It's going to be the first player. Alright.
Now, let's figure out what we are up against. Those pesky cultists.
Pesky cultists.
Not only are they performing their ritual, but they have also set the place on fire.
Fire! Fire!
You need to destroy their labs in order to cause a whole lot of trouble for whatever it is they are summoning. To win the game, you will need to kill the Elder One by defeating its final stage. In order to do this, you have to have the Elder One summoned on the map. It is summoned if the Elder One enters the first red space on the track, or the ritual was disrupted during a turn.
Okay.
There are 4 steps each turn. In the first step, you may take 3 actions. Then you will draw the top Mythos card from the deck. After that, you will investigate or fight. Whether you investigate or fight depends if there are enemies in your space. Lastly, you'll resolve end of turn effects. For the first turn, we will skip a few steps until we learn more about the game.
Yay! Oh, it says turn 1.
On
We're
your
going right
turn,
in.
you may take 3 actions, and you may take the same action more than once. Typically, all actions and investigator skills are available from the start, but for the first few turns of this tutorial, we will add them gradually in order to ease into the game. If you ever forget something that has already been taught to you, or you want to learn more, tap the Dized rules icon on the top right.
Step 1. Take 3 actions.
Note that the examples shown in this tutorial will not match your exact game situation. Simply implement the given instructions in your actual game. There are no enemy figures, fire tokens, or lab tokens on your space to interact with. So for your first action, you should use the run action. With the run action, you can move up to 3 spaces. You can only move between spaces if there is a passage on both tiles, as indicated by arrows on both sides. As your first action, move to the next tile and then tap next.
Lizzie runs into the room with her axe raised.
There are 2 cultist figures here with 2 health each. You can continue moving up to 2 spaces, but enemies in this space will follow you, and there is also fire in the next spaces. You should stop here, for now.
Whatever you say, sure.
For your second action, let's try removing these cultist figures from the board by using the attack action and rolling dice. Each die has 4 different possible results. Success,
Exclamation point.
Elder Sign,
Star.
Tentacle,
Tentacle.
and Blank.
Blank.
Blank results have no effect. Until we learn more about the game, and just for the first turn, we will treat Elder Sign and Tentacle's results as blank.
Okay.
Also on your investigator board, there is a stress track. Stress is used to try and push situations in your favor. You may always increase your stress to re-roll 1 die. Target a single enemy in your space and roll the 3 standard black dice. After you roll, tap next.
Oh, I should have gotten my little dice tray. Let me get my little dice tray. Little dice tray, little dice tray, little dice tray. Dice tray brought to you by Uprising. Ta-da! We got an elder sign, a tentacle, and an exclamation mark.
Did you roll any successes?
Yes.
Each success rolled causes 1 wound to your target. Place wound tokens next to the base of the figure you attacked.
I did 1. I wanted to do 2.
Is the number of the wound tokens next to the figure equal or more than their health that is shown on their card?
No.
This enemy is not defeated yet. You may take 1 stress to re-roll 1 die. Don't worry, there is no consequence of being at maximum stress, and stress can be healed. Do you want to re-roll?
You bet I do.
Take 1 stress to reroll 1 die and ignore its original result. You may do this as often as you like until your stress is at the maximum. Did you roll any successes?
So this one has a tentacle and an exclamation point on it, and I'm gonna assume that that's a success. Let me check this little thing on the upper right. Oh, no, that left the thing. I didn't want to leave the thing. Oh, no, what happened? I'm gonna say that that's another hit, and I'm just going to say yes.
Each success rolled
Oh
causes
yeah,
one
it shows it
wound
on
to
the
your target.
thing that this one with the
Place wound tokens next to the
tentacle
base of the figure
and
you
the
attack.
exclamation mark is indeed a success. So that's 2. Now we have a dead cultist.
Is the number of the wound tokens next to the figure equal or more
You
than
bet
their
it
health
is.
that is shown on their card?
You bet it is.
You managed to kill them.
Lizzie
with your
Borden
attack.
tries to chop
Remove
off his
their
head with an
figure from the
axe,
board along with the
but
wound
only goes
tokens.
halfway through his neck.
This ends
She
your attack
chops
action.
the second time, and the cultist's head goes flying off. Bum ba-da-dum. Do I get treasure? Oh, so we're getting an ad for Robo Rally, the board game, which we can skip in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I like Robo Rally.
What you would like to do for your third action? Since there's scorching
What-
fires and enemies on the next spaces, it would be a good idea to attack any lingering enemies here.
What you would like to do for your third action? I'm gonna attack again.
Target a single enemy in your space and roll the 3 standard black dice. After you roll, tap next.
I got 2 successes on my first roll that time.
Did you roll any successes?
Yes, I did.
Each success rolled causes 1 wound to your target.
Boom,
Place
boom.
wound tokens next to the base of the figure you attacked. Is the number of the wound tokens next to the figure equal or more than their health that is shown on their card?
You bet it is.
You managed to kill them. with your
Lizzie
attack.
Borden chops him in half
Remove
with
their
one
figure from the
shoot
board
from
along
her
with the
axe,
wound token.
just like Evan Peters
This ends your attack
did to
action.
that home invasion person in episode 2 of American Horror Story. Spoilers, if you haven't seen it yet, doesn't matter. This ends my attack action. That was my third action.
After 3 actions, your turn ends. Now is the Mythos phase.
That's when bad things happen in these games. Okay.
Mythos cards drive the horrors of each game. Typically in this step, the active player will draw the top Mythos card from the deck and resolve it. But for this tutorial and for this turn only, we will skip this step until we learn a bit more about the game.
I get to skip the Mythos phase.
After you resolve the Mythos card, you will investigate or fight. This step varies depending on whether there are enemies in your space or not. If there are enemies in your space, they will fight you. If you are in a safe space, then you will investigate by drawing discovery cards. Discovery cards can help or, sometimes, hinder you. We will skip this step too, on the first turn of this tutorial until we learn a few more rules.
Well, rude. Okay.
Several things can happen at the end of turn. Various effects can trigger. The Elder One can be summoned, and fire is also resolved at this time. But since no one run through fire, you are safe.
No one
at
run
least
through
for now.
fire.
The turn is now over, and the player to the left will take their turn.
No one run through fire. Turn 2.
Before you take your 3 actions for the second turn, let's learn a few things about your investigator board.
Okay.
Each investigator has a board with a wound track, a stress track, a sanity track,
Sanity's the top.
and 3 skills. All are tracked with plastic tentacle markers in your color. Whenever you lose sanity, the marker advances to the right. The track has insanity threshold spaces that will activate your insanity card and level up a skill.
Ooh.
Some of them
Ooh,
also
skills.
give you permanent bonus dice.
Ooh.
But if it reaches the skull at the end, you are consumed by madness and eliminated.
Boo.
Your 3 skills allow you to bend the rules in your favor. All skills start at the first level, but you will increase them when you level up. Skills activate in different ways and different times. Take a moment to familiarize with your investigator skills.
Cool. I am familiarized. Oh, I should read these out loud because you don't know. So, Miss Borden, she's savage. When she attacks, she may deal 1 additional wound if there are no other enemies in its space. So technically, on that second attack, if I had only rolled 1 success, I would have still killed the cultist. When she runs, she can move 1 additional space for a total of 4 spaces. And she has stealth, so when she runs, she may sneak once, meaning an enemy does not follow her. Rasputin is unkillable. 1 time, if he would die from wounds, he returns to life with full health. He also has Arcane Mastery, which means he can count 1 Elder Sign as a success on any roll, and he has Brawling, which means he gets an additional green die when attacking a target in his space. We're not going to read the upgraded skills now, we'll see when we get to that.
Also, always keep in mind your wound track. If the marker ever reaches the skull at the end, you are dead.
Surprise.
There are 2 new actions you can perform this turn: extinguish fire and destroy equipment. When there is a fire token in your space, you can extinguish the fire. For each success you roll, you remove 1 fire token. When there is a lab in your space, you can destroy it. For each success you roll, you will put 1 wound token on the lab. When it has 4 or more wounds, it gets destroyed. Remember that in order to win the game, you need to summon Cthulhu, and one way to do this is by destroying the labs. You have new actions now. We suggest to attack the remaining cultists, but also have a look at your skills that might help you run or attack more efficiently. Remember, 3 actions per turn, and you can do 1 action more than once during a turn. From now on, we will use all the sides from the dice. If you want a reminder of the results, tap the attack action on the upcoming menu. Tap on an action if you want to walk through for it. After you take 3 actions, tap end turn.
So we're going to just look at the overall goals here before I continue on. In order to disrupt the ritual, I need to destroy 4 of the 5 lab tokens. When the Elder One advances, I will place 1 fire token on each space that has any cultists and no fire. When he advances, we'll also put a, I always say this wrong, Relia token on your space, and if there's already one there, put it on the nearest space that doesn't have one. Cultists will get summoned on each of those spaces, and the star spawn will move 1 space towards you, and if it's not on the board, we would summon it on the blue gate. The cultists, these cultists unleash the power of Relia. Star spawns, when attacking or being attacked while in a space with one, add 2 tentacles to the roll. Fire vampires, when they attack, first place a fire token in their space. And the Byakhee, when it attacks, each star also counts as a success. So, the way I take it, I need to destroy these lab tokens. Regardless, there's only this 1 space to move into here. So I think the plan for Rasputin is going to be to run into this hallway, knock out, kill this cultist, and then probably extinguish that fire. So that's what we're going to do. So for action 1, we're going to move 2 spaces. We're in a space with a cultist. You're going to interrupt my ritual. Okay, and then for the second action, we're going to attack. So I'm going to take these 3 dice and roll it to attack the cultist. He has Brawling, so I also get this green die. And when making any roll, a star counts as success. I got 3 successes and 1 star, so that's a total of 4 successes, meaning Rasputin, I don't know, he punched him in the neck and he choked and died, but he's definitely a dead cultist. So now I'm going to extinguish fire, which I forget how to do, so I'm going to click on extinguish fire in this little thing.
Is there a fire token on your space?
Yes, there's a fire token on my space.
Roll the 3 standard black dice and then tap next. Remove 1 fire token in your space for each success.
So I rolled 3 successes.
For each tentacle.
I rolled 3 successes.
Elder signs have an effect only if mentioned in a card or ability.
So I rolled 3 successes, so I get to remove this fire token. And I do have one of those was an Elder Sign success, so my sanity is going to go down 1. Which, from my understanding, is not so bad because it means I'll be able to unlock skills, but we'll see what happens.
Remember that when the sanity marker would surpass the threshold, the marker halts, and any additional sanity loss is disregarded.
That's good to know. Okay.
When the marker on the sanity track reaches a threshold, the insanity card activates, and you also level up one of your skills. Tap on an action if you want to walk through for it. After you take 3 actions, tap end turn.
Well, I definitely took 3 actions. Now, there's also destroy equipment, objective, investigator board on here, but I don't really know that any of those apply, and I'm just going to follow along with this thing because we've already been doing this for 45 minutes, and this should be a 2-hour game, supposedly. All right.
After you take 3 actions, you will draw the top Mythos card from the deck and resolve it.
Ooh.
Mythos cards have all sorts of different, unpleasant, special effects. Unless otherwise stated, these effects only affect the player whose turn it is, ignoring all other investigators. Any choice that needs to be made is up to the active player. Mythos cards may have several different steps to them, divided into 3 types. Elder 1 Summoning, special effects and summon enemies. You must do these steps in order, from top to bottom. If you can't do a step on the card, skip it and move on to the next. Draw a Mythos card now and tap next to resolve it.
So we've drawn a Mythos card. It has a thingy on the top, which is progress, from my understanding, and then effects, which are effects. But we're going to tap next, as it says, to resolve each thing.
Tap on the corresponding button to learn more for each effect. Remember that if you can't do a step, skip it. When you finish, tap end.
Summoning symbol is the first thing.
The Elder 1 summoning symbol has no effect when the card is drawn, but may cause the Elder 1 to advance on its track at the end of the turn.
May.
If the card has this symbol, make sure it remains visible when it is discarded. If there are 3 symbols in the discard pile, the Elder 1 advances at the end of the turn.
Got it. Okay.
Tap on the corresponding button to learn more for each effect. Remember that if you can't do a step, skip it. When you finish, tap end.
So each figure in a space with an undestroyed lab takes 1 wound. Now, this seems weird to me. I guess that means the cultists as well, but I'm going to check.
Sanity, stress, and wound are tracks on your investigator board. Follow the instructions on the card accordingly. Tap on the corresponding button to learn more for each effect. Remember that if you can't do a step, skip it. When you finish, tap end.
Okay, well, it says each figure, so I'm assuming that means the enemies as well. So this cultist is going to take a damage because he's in a lab space, and this one, and this one. So it looks like the cultists are just going to kill themselves in their little labs. Then it says also, each investigator with a guilty conscience takes 2 stress. Now, I don't know what that means, so I'm just going to leave it. And for each stress they cannot take, they take a wound. This has a progress token, so we're going to put it next to that progress track. And when that reaches 3, we're going to advance the Deuter. So we're going to click on End Step.
Place the Mythos card on a face-up discard pile. Does the card have the Elder 1 summoning symbol?
Sure does.
Make sure the Elder 1 summoning symbol remains visible when it is discarded.
I know, I heard you.
After you resolve a Mythos card, you will investigate or fight. This step varies depending on whether there are enemies in your space or not. Are you currently in a safe space with no enemies in it?
Yes, ma'am.
When you are in a safe space, you investigate your space. Draw the top card of the discovery deck and read the text in the center box aloud. Then tap next to learn more.
I have drawn Monkey Paw. Painted glyphs on the floor. What is going on here? If you have the monkey as a companion, take 2 wounds and discard the monkey. You may claim the monkey paw or discard it to heal all your health. And it's an item where each elder sign may count as both a success and a tentacle, and it cannot be traded. I'm going to click to the right.
Some cards will have a statement of something you must do if you have a condition or a certain companion. Most offer choices of what you want to do. Some cards result in claiming a companion, item, or condition. Claiming means to slide the card under your investigator board, becoming part of your inventory, or, when it's a condition, changing your mental state. The investigator board has slots on the right and on the left to insert claim discovery cards. There is no limit to the number of cards that can be slotted to an investigator. Claim either the left or right side of the card, Tuck the discovery card under your investigator board on the appropriate side and then tap next.
So I'm not going to claim this because Rasputin already can count a Elder Sign as a success, and why would I want the extra tentacle? So I'm going to discard it to heal all of my health. My health is at full, so it actually does nothing. My understanding. We'll see if I'm right or wrong.
Is the card you claimed a companion?
I didn't claim a card.
Keep in mind that if it's not specified when the investigator may use an effect from a discovery card, it may be used anytime during their turn.
Okay.
The only limitation is that it cannot be used while resolving another card, effect, or during a roll. For example, you cannot discard the medicine discovery card to heal while you are resolving a mythos card.
Heal first, mythos later.
Any effects that happen at the end of the turn happen now, in any order the active player chooses.
Nothing that I'm aware
Have a
of.
look at the investigator abilities and the discovery cards you might have claimed by investigating that resolve at the end of your turn, and resolve them now.
No, I think I'm
Then
okay.
tap next.
Just gonna tap next.
You may be on fire. This will have happened if you left a space that contains fire. Do you have fire tokens on your investigator board?
No.
The turn is now over, and the player to the left will take their turn. This continues in clockwise order until the end of the game.
Turn 3!
There are 2 new actions we will learn this turn, trade and rest. With the trade action, you and all investigators in your space may trade any number of items or companions with each other. Note that you cannot change the side of the discovery card.
Oh.
With the rest action, if you are in a safe space with no enemies, you may heal your stress and or health up to 3 spaces in any combination. If you forget something, you can always check the Dized rules by tapping the button on the top right.
Step 1, take 3
Tap
actions.
on an action if you want to walk through for it. After you take 3 actions, tap end.
Alright, so Lizzie Borden, she's gonna try to start, well, she moves an extra space. Not that that matters, because this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So to get to both of those labs is 3 spaces. So we're gonna split up our directions here. She seems to be better at sneaking, so I'm gonna put her to this lower one. So her first action is gonna be to run, 1, 2, 3. And then her second action is going to be to attack the cultist, because we always want to kill the cultists. And I got 1 success and 1 insanity, so she's going to take 1 insanity, she's going to kill this cultist, and then she's going to start hacking away at this lab. So hacking away at the lab, she's going to roll 3 dice. And we want 3 successes to really, really damage the thing. But I got 1 success, 1 blank, and 1 insanity. So I'm going to spend a stress to re-roll this insanity one. Still a blank. I want to get at least 2 successes on this roll, so I'm going to re-roll again. That's 2 successes. So I'm going to put 2 wounds on this lab. So on her next turn, she should be able to destroy the lab. I'm just going to click on destroy equipment here because I did it. And I'm going to say, yes, there's a lab here. You know, I'm pretty sure I figured out how this lab thing works, but I do have a tendency to get ahead of myself, so we're going to check it out first. Ba-dum-ba-bum.
Roll 3 standard black dice and any bonus green dice you might have. Note, damaging a lab is not considered an attack, so any bonuses referring to that are ignored.
Figured that.
Put
Yeah, that
1
seems
round
right.
token on the lab for each success you rolled, and lose 1 sanity for each tentacle. Elder signs have an effect only if mentioned in a card or ability. Does the lab have 4 or more wounds?
No.
Tap on an action if
Okay.
you want to walk through.
So that
for
was
it.
her third action, so we're
After
going to
you-
end her turn.
Draw a mythos card now and then tap next to resolve it. Remember that you must do the steps in order, from top to bottom.
So this one has some monster movement and some summoning. We're going to, I guess, talk through that as we go.
Tap on the corresponding button to learn more for each effect.
So
Remember that if you can't do a step, skip it.
so it has a
When
summoning
you
symbol.
finish, tap end.
So we're going to put one there. It says each cultist on a Relia space is 2 spaces towards you.
Relia tokens have no effect on their own, but they are called by other effects. A space with a Relia token is a Relia space.
So there is no
There
Relia
is no
space
way to
yet.
get rid of Relia tokens.
Well, that's bad. There's none there yet,
Tap
so
on the
that's
corresponding button to learn more for each effect.
And then we're going to see how summon cultist
Remember that
works.
if you can't do it, the bottom of some cards will indicate a gate color and the specific enemy that must be summoned there.
So this says
If you have the corresponding figure available in reserve, place it on the indicated space.
So
Otherwise, ignore this step.
we have some summoned cultists
If there are multiple
on
gates
the
and enemies indicated,
yellow gate
perform the summonings in order.
and the blue
Skip
gate.
any gates if you are out of figures. Place the summoned enemies now and then tap next.
Next. So then we now
Tap
have
on the
2
corresponding
of
button
those
to learn
things.
more for each effect.
We're going to end the step.
Place the Mythos card on a face-up
It
discard
does.
pile.
I'm
Make
moving
sure the
faster
Elder
now
One
because I'm
summoning
starting to get
symbol
the hang of
remains
it.
visible when it is
Yep, I
discarded.
can see 2 of those. Step 3.
Are you currently in a safe space?
There's no
with
enemies
no
in my
enemies it?
space.
You investigate your space.
So I'm
by
going to draw
drawing
the top discovery card.
Press the investigate button if you want a reminder. Otherwise, tap next.
Clutter. It's hard to find anything in this mess. I may take 1 stress to claim the beaker. The beaker will let me discard this card to deal wounds to all labs and figures either in your space, including yourself, or an adjacent space. Each target will take wounds equal to the number of fire tokens in their space. I'm going to take 1... I'm going to take 1 stress and claim this. Now, Borden's stress is at maximum now, so on my next turn I might want to take one of those rest actions. Full show. End of turn.
Any effects that happen at the end of the turn happen now, in any order the active player chooses.
Nope.
You may be on fire.
Nope.
This will have happened.
Turn 4. Take 3 actions.
Tap on an action if you want to walk through for it. After you take 3 actions, tap end.
So he's going to head to this other lab and try to do the same thing Borden's been doing. So he's going to move 1, 2 spaces into this space that has fire, occultist, and a lab token. First things first, we're going to attack and hopefully kill the cultist with his extra brawl die. We got 2 successes, so that's another dead cultist there. Next thing that seems the most scary is the fire, so we're going to try to put this fire out, which I get to remove a fire token for each success. I have 3 elder signs. Now he can make 1 elder sign count as a success, so he can make that success happen and remove that fire. He doesn't get to do anything to this lab token yet, but that's all right. Ooh.
Tap on the corresponding button to learn more for each effect. Remember that if you can't do a step, skip it. When you finish, tap end.
So Rasputin's about to have a bad day because this says this Byakhee is going to fly right into his space. So the Byakhee is going to move directly into my space. Nope, that's Cthulhu. Woo, that would have been worse. Byakhee! So apparently they fly through walls in this universe, okay? And that would be each Byakhee. So if there was 2 Byakhee on the board, Rasputin would now have 2 Byakhee in his space. Then we're going to summon the other Byakhee on the red space down here, where it's going to hang out with our cultist friend. So things apparently do get worse quickly.
Place the Mythos card on a face-up discard pile. Does the card have the Elder One summoning symbol?
It does.
Make sure the Elder One summoning symbol remains visible when it is discarded.
Now,
Are you currently in a safe space with no enemies in it?
my understanding was he was supposed to advance when that happens, but maybe it's after the discovery phase. So for now, I'm going to draw the discovery card first, and then I'll check the rules if I'm wrong. He is not in a safe space because there is an enemy in it, so we want to see what's going to happen here.
Each enemy in your space attacks you in the order you choose, until all enemies in your space that could attack you have done so, ignoring other investigators. When an enemy attacks you, you roll the number and type of dice as shown on their reference card.
So the Byakhee has...
Also keep in mind any abilities that the enemy might have on their reference card. Choose an enemy in your space to attack you. Roll the appropriate dice and then tap next.
So the Byakhee has 2 green and a black, and when it attacks, each elder sign also counts as a success. So it's just rolled 3 successes against me.
Remember that you may use stress to also re-roll these dice, and you may also use any of your skills to help avoid or minimize the attack. Each success gives you 1 wound. Each tentacle costs you 1 sanity. Elder signs only have an effect if the enemy has the ability to use them. Resolve the results and then tap next.
So I am going to use a stress to re-roll this die that has both an elder sign and a success on it, because that's 2 wounds in 1 die, and I figure now it's just an elder sign. I'm just going to take both of those wounds and move on with my life.
Continue resolving enemy attacks by rolling the type of dice as shown on their reference card until all enemies in your space that could attack you have done so. Then tap next.
Next.
Resolve any effects that happen at the end of the turn, in any order that the active player chooses. When you do, tap next. If you are on fire, roll 1 standard die for every fire token on your investigator board. Press the fire button if you want a reminder, otherwise tap next. Since there are 3 Elder 1 summoning symbols in the discard pile, the Elder 1 now advances.
So yeah, it advances
Advance
now.
the Elder 1 along the summoning track. When the Elder 1 advances, you resolve the effect on the Elder 1 stage card and the episode card. Tap next to resolve them.
I do like that it kept track of how many times I was doing that, so it knew that this was the time. So Cthulhu is gonna go ripper. Then, when Cthulhu advances, put a Relia token on your space. Oh, bad news for Rasputin. Then summon a cultist on each Relia space. Oh no, Rasputin! And move the star spawn 1 space towards you. If it's not on the board, summon it on the blue gate. Oh no, this is all bad now. This happened bad fast. Okay. Plus, when the Elder 1 advances, place 1 fire token on each space that has any cultists and no fire. Fire, 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 fire. That was pretty bad. Okay.
Put a Relia token on your space. Then summon a cultist on the Relia space.
Yeah, I did that.
Move the star spawn 1 space towards you. If it is not on the board, summon it on the blue gate.
Yeah, I did that.
Place 1 fire token in each space that has any cultists and no fire.
Did that.
After the Elder 1 advances, all of the discarded Mythos cards are shuffled back into the deck.
Snap! Okay. Okay. So, okay. I did not expect that. I thought we were going to work our way through this whole deck. This is actually pretty cool because it means, like, I'm only going to see a small fraction of these cards throughout the game. I think that's the most exciting thing that's happened so far is the shuffling of these back in. So I gotta say, up until that happened, I was like, oh, this game's easy. Well, things are about to get worse now. Oh, wait. Oh, right, that's gonna happen there. Okay. I have to remember that if Borden reaches her sanity thing, she's going to recover all of her stress. So that's actually pretty cool. All right, next.
You now know enough to continue on your own, at least until the Elder 1 advances toward ultimate power. Continue taking turns until the Elder 1 is summoned. If you need a reminder of a step, tap the corresponding button on the next menu.
I do want to see... I want to see about moving through spaces.
With the run action, you can move up to 3 spaces. You can only move between spaces if there is a passage on both tiles, as indicated by arrows on both sides. You may also pass between 2 spaces that both have a staircase. If there are enemies in spaces you leave, they will follow you, and you also catch fire when leaving a space with fire.
Oh.
Move up to 3 spaces now. Did you leave a space with enemies while moving?
So anyway, so it's now Borden's turn. So she's got some problems here because she's a little trapped. But the first thing she's going to do is she's going to try to disrupt.
With the run action.
She's going to try to disrupt the ritual here. So, okay. So she's got 3 successes and 1 sanity thing. So she's going to destroy this lab equipment. So we're going to click on destroy equipment.
Is there a lab in your space? Roll 3 standard black dice. Put 1 round token on the lab. Does the lab have...
The lab now has 4 more wounds, so we're going to click check mark.
Destroy it and turn over the lab token to reveal its effect. Resolve the effect now, then discard the token.
This is a major explosion. Deal 2 wounds to all enemies in this and adjacent spaces. So that's going to kill this cultist. And that's going to put 2 wounds on our friendly neighborhood star spawn. So that was pretty good. That was some nice luck there. So that's 1 out of the 4 labs we have to destroy to summon Cthulhu. All right, now the second thing's going to happen. Now this star spawn has 7 health, so there is no way for me to kill it this turn. She has stealth, so when she runs through a space, the enemy won't follow her. However, because there's fire on the space, she will catch fire. And I think the other option is for her to go through this other space and cure that fire, but I don't love that idea. I kind of feel like she's just going to run to this lab in the back and try to take that out. So that's what's going to happen. So, because she gets to move 4 spaces too, so she's going to run.
With the run action, you can move up to 3 spaces. You may also pass between 2 spaces that both have a staircase. If there are enemies in spaces you leave, they will follow you, and you also catch fire when leaving a space with fire.
So she's going to
move up to 3 spaces now. Did you leave a space with enemies while moving?
So she's going to run through here. She's going to catch fire. She's going to run through here and catch fire again. I don't know. We'll find out. And then she's going to land in this lab at the end. I left a space with enemies.
When you leave a space with enemies, all enemies in that space follow you to your new space, even if there were other investigators in your space. Move all enemies now.
Now I got to skip one of those because of her run thing. So it's only the cultists that follow me, not the star spawn.
Did you leave a space with fire tokens? When you leave a space with fire tokens, place 1 fire token from the reserve onto your investigator board.
So she has
for
2
each
fire
token
tokens on her now.
Leaving those tokens untouched. Each investigator has a board with a wound. There are also slots on the right and on the left. Tap on the part of the investigator board that you want to learn more about. Your 3 skills allow you. Keep in mind.
Okay, that's not good. I guess we'll find out how much damage that does to her in a second. And now that she's in this room over here, she's going to try to kill this cultist. She does 2 damage to it and kills it. Now she's in a room with fire and a lab. She's got all this shit. It's a bad news day for Miss Borden. And she's gonna do her Mythos phase. I'm gonna click on Mythos to do the Mythos phase. No, I think it's enter. Well, yeah, let's see.
Tap on the corresponding button. Place the Mythos card on a face-up discard pile. Does the card have the Elder One summoning symbol?
So this one is, if Cthulhu is on the board, each investigator loses 1 sanity, but he's not. However, if Cthulhu is on the track, each investigator takes 2 stress. And for every stress you cannot take, you take 1 wound instead. So Rasputin takes 2 stress, and Borden takes 2 wounds because her stress is already full.
Make sure the Elder One
which is, that didn't have a summon token on it, so we're just gonna, but that one did not have a summon token on it. She's gonna end her turn. No, not true. She's on a safe space, so she draws a discovery card. Assistant janitor. I got away, but he's going to kill us and we have to hide. If you have a guilty conscience, take 1 stress. Or you may take 2 stress to claim the janitor, which will give you 1 level in stealth for having him. Or you can take 1 stress to claim the bleach, which you may discard the bleach and the ammonia to deal 6 wounds to all figures in your space, including you or an adjacent space. Now the thing is, taking that stress is going to do damage to me, and I feel like that fire is also going to do damage to me. Do I have to take this? I don't know. Let's see.
Are you currently in a safe? You investigate.
Huh. Lizzie might be dead. Oh no. Borden, her name
When
is
you are in
Lizzie.
a safe space, you investigate your
Yeah.
space. Draw the top card of the discovery deck and read the text in the center box aloud. Then tap next to learn more. Some cards will have a statement of something you must do if you have a condition or a certain companion. Most offer choices of what you want to do.
Yeah, I think I have to do one
Some
or the
cards
other.
result in claiming a companion, item, or condition.
Oh no.
Claiming means to slide the card under your investigator board, becoming part of your inventory, or, when it's a condition, the
Okay.
investigator claim either the left is the card you claimed a companion.
Alright,
Keep in
so
mind that if it's not the only limitation, for example,
so yeah, so I have to take 1 stress, which is actually 1 wound, to claim this bleach. Oh god, she's gonna die.
resolve any effects that happen at the end of the turn, in any order that the active player chooses. If you are on fire, roll 1 standard die for every fire token on your investigator board. You may be on fire. This will have happened if you left a space that contains fire. Do you have fire tokens on your investigator board? At the end of your turn, roll 1 standard die for every fire token on your investigator board. Roll any die/dice now. You do not roll any bonus die/dice.
It's bad. It's bad.
Take 1 wound for each success and lose
1 wound.
1 sanity for each tentacle. Then, discard all fire tokens on your investigator board. Remember that you may use stress to reroll dice.
Take 1 wound for each success. Not wound, but wound. So she's taking 2 wounds and 1 sanity, which
Are there 3 cards in the discard pile?
kills her.
An investigator can be killed either from wounds or the insanity track.
So sad.
Has the marker on the wound track or the sanity track reached the last space with the skull?
Yes.
Since an investigator is killed or consumed by madness and the Elder One is still not summoned to the board, you all lose.
We all lose! Curses! Well,
Through all your efforts, you eventually fell to the evil machinations of the Elder God. Now the entire world will know your suffering.
the entire world will know my
You
suffering.
lost the game.
I lost the game.
In the full game, there are 4 actions that are available in every episode and 2 that are unique to each episode. Also, every episode has different map boards set up and different enemies. In order to organize the game when you are putting it away, you can find the contents of each box, listed on the side of the box. After you're done with Season 1, the Season 2 box is also now available. Thank you for playing Death May Die.
You're welcome. So I'm going to try this again without videotaping it. I'm going to get better at this game. I definitely did not expect things to go south so far. So fast. But let's talk about what we think. Generally speaking, my opinion on Cool Mini or Not games is that they're always somewhat cool at the core. They get you so excited, they make you want to have all the expansions, and then they end up taking space on your shelves, like these 4 shelves of Marvel United you see here, that I haven't touched in over a year. But I still love that game, and I'm going to review it on a future date. I really dig this so far. It's definitely simple enough that solo 2 players I can play it, which is one of the things I really want in a game. It clearly took less than 2 hours, but that's because I died on turn 2. But yeah, it's something that I feel like I could really enjoy. It seems very easy to teach, which means it would be easy to whip out at the end of a long day of Gloomhaven or Primal or Oathsworn, which are some of the bigger campaign games I have. I really can't tell what I think of the game overall until I summon the Great One and deal with a few more episodes. But right now, I'd give it a first play 4 out of 5. I had a good time, thought it was fun, I laughed, and that's we'll come back and review this after I played a few more times. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Feel free to leave positive things in the comments. Don't be a mean person. Mean people suck. Stay safe. Kill monsters.